clear to play. Bat rip.
Okay, going back into turn 4, or starting turn 4 rather, the Weirdboy wants to move up and he wants to try to get a kill point for the Orks because as of this point, they don't have one. He does get past Hood and he did make his rolls and he got the melt-a-shot. He penetrates and it explodes. And it explodes 5 inches, so thankfully it doesn't hit the Weirdboy himself, but he does wreck a vehicle, so 1 tally on the Orc side. I think it's about 6 for the Grey Knights. We won't talk about that at the end of the turn. The shock attack gun shoots. He gets strength 6, so that's good, and he does get a direct hit. Unfortunately, he does fail to penetrate. He needed a 6th for a glancing, actually. The Ludas fire in, but again, they cannot seem to do anything this game. The other big squad of Ludas do have a direct shot, and so they get a glancing hit at least, and they stun it. And so hopefully won't be able to shoot, but again with a psychic test he can ignore that. The Razorback jumps in front of the other henchman squad with the Jakiro weaponsmiths to try to, I guess, protect them, and he pops smoke. And the other squads are just moving scarily close to my Ludas, which are really the only thing I have left besides those few Burnas. And so it's really the henchman squads are the hero of the Grey Knights. This, at least for this game, with this just strong HQs. Now the Chimera does tank shock right into my Weirdboy. He does make his leadership, so he moves out of the way and tries to give himself cover. The one Dreadnought actually gives himself perils and receives a glancing hit and shakes himself. But the other does manage to make 4 wounds, and I try to save them, but I'm only half in cover, so only half are saved. And he, you know what? Let's just say he teleports out of there with a random warp head power that we just didn't see on camera. So that's the end of turn 4. Again, not too much to happen right now. It's just a bunch of shooting back and forth with, you know, the Grey Knights actually killing stuff, and the the poor Luda's just bouncing off the Grey Knight armor, whether it's the power armor or the invulnerable saves or the actual vehicles. So right now, Orks have 1 kill point, Grey Knights have 7. It's not good for the Orks, but going to turn 5, let's try to finish this game without too much shame for the Orks. If the Ludas actually come back, they can actually kill a lot. So, actually with only 10 shots, they penetrate a lot, and they manage to blow it up. Only 1 inch, unfortunately, with all the henchmen right beside it. And they don't manage to, or 2 of them, it hits 2. And actually managed to kill 1, so that was a bonus. And so now we're up to 2 kill points. And we're continuing to fire. The shock attack gun gets an 11, which is a strength 10 hit, but he fails to wound with a 1. There's always that 1 possibility. So, the rest of the Ludas fire into that squad. Only 3 out of 30 shots. 1 in 10 instead of 1 in 6. Or 2 in 6. So, 1 in 10 instead of 1 in 3 hit. And so, the dice gods, I guess I needed to sacrifice more squigs or something. I do manage to, again, deal a few wounds on the henchmen and kill a few of them, but now the Grey Knights are just moving up, and they should be able to do some nice damage. The Razorback continues to try to block line of sight and is protecting that other wounded Dreadnought, and the Razorback is moving up to block line of sight for, I think, the other henchman squad that is moving up behind, yes. And so if it does go to turn 6 or turn 7, they were able to flank my Ludas quite well. And he doesn't even bother to shoot with his eagle, he just runs forward and try to get as close as possible. Although at this point, I think the game, well, who knows? I still have those Burnas. I might be able to do some good damage. He does shoot into them, and I do fail a few of my cover saves, and then he just continues to shoot with his other ranged henchman squad with the Jakiro weaponsmiths. And they do manage to wound a few more, and I only save 1, or only was 1 left alive. I fail my leadership, and I fall back 6 inches. So at the end of turn 5, it's, well, we're playing, we're having fun. So Orks have 2, Grey Knights have 8.